All right, welcome back to another video. My name is Ian Major. I'm an entrepreneur, investor, and all-around raging capitalist. And in today's video, I want to do a practical how-to on setting up your Ledger Nano S. Securely holding your Bitcoin is super important, especially as its value appreciates. Today is Wednesday, February 10th, and so unless you've been sleeping under a rock, you are already well familiar with what we've seen over the past week. You know, Tesla coming out announcing a $1.5 billion buy, and you're going to see more and more corporations, companies, entities, choosing to store their spare cash in Bitcoin. So we're only at the beginning, and this makes it paramount to securely hold your Bitcoin. Don't just be leaving it on exchanges like Coinbase or Binance or whatever the case may be. You really want to have a robust security option. Now, I'm going to link a video in the description that's very important because it goes through an overall framework for Bitcoin privacy and security that we are now going to kind of pick apart in today's video and others. Ledger is one option of several that I think are good and worth considering. Where Ledger really excels is in kind of, user-friendly interface. As you'll see from today's video, it's actually quite easy and straightforward to set all this up. But keep in mind there are other options like the cold card that definitely edge it out in terms of overall security at the sacrifice of a little bit of user friendliness, if you will. So keep that in mind. Watch the other video. But with that intro out of the way, let's go ahead and jump in. All right, so let's get into the meat of this video. First thing you obviously want to do when you receive your Ledger is ensure that it is wrapped, it's not tampered with, etc. You'll see there are other steps in the process where you can verify that this is a legitimate device, but that is super crucial. Also, when you do make your purchase, be sure that you are on the official Ledger website. There's a lot of schemy actors out there. So ledger.com, I'm putting a screenshot here, and I'll put a link in the description down below, but just make sure that you are on the official Ledger website, and not something with Ledger and then an S at the end. You'd be surprised at what people fall for. So let's open this up and I'll kind of show you its components, and then we'll jump into a screen share and actually go through how to set this up. So, you'll see it's nice, sleek packaging here, right? So that's the device, the Ledger Nano S. Now, Ledger does have a Nano X option that does have some cool functionality around, Bluetooth enabled functionality that would be good for like micro payments. I think if you're primarily looking for the hodling use case, like you just want a secure place to store and hold your Bitcoin, you're not going to be doing a bunch of transactions with it, at least yet. I really don't think there's incremental value to getting the X, which is a little more expensive than the S. That's just my opinion. But you'll basically see, it kind of it's got the branding there. It's got the saying, and it just kind of opens up like that. And so it's essentially more or less a little flash drive. It's got two buttons here on the top that we will be using, and then it's got a micro USB on its end that then connects into your computer. So pretty simple, pretty sleek, looks good. Let's continue opening the pack here. It also comes with a quick start guide. Again, they've made this pretty darn easy. Has a couple different cards in here. So did you notice, a note on tamper elements, and then it also has a space for you to write down your passphrase or your secret seed phrase. which we will come to. And then it also just has a very simple, how do I configure my device? And so, basically start.ledgerwallet.com. And we'll basically jump in next and do that. The final couple of things you get a little lanyard, which is nice. And then finally, you just get the USB to micro USB cord. And so super simple, super easy. This plugs in here, right? Very easy. And then the other end, you will plug into your computer. So that's it. Pretty simple, right? You get the device itself, you get the cord, you get the instructions, you get a place to write your seed phrase. There's other options. You obviously don't have to write it on that particular piece of paper, but it's nice that they include it. So let's go ahead now and actually jump into see how to set it up. All right, so here we are. All we did here, we went to start.ledgerwallet.com, which was written on the page that was included in the pack, and that will redirect to ledger.com/start. And so you'll see we're now on this page, and it's got a couple of steps here. So number one is to set up Ledger Live, and so Ledger Live is their application for interfacing with your cold storage wallet. And so this allows you to check your balance. It allows you to generate the address for your wallet, allows you to send your Bitcoin, etc. And so, there's options here for really everything. So choose the appropriate option for you, and then just follow the steps. I've already got it installed, so I'm not going to go through that. But just follow the steps. Should be pretty easy. Okay, so we've got our Nano plugged in to our computer. We've downloaded the Ledger Live application, and once you plug in for the first time, you'll basically see welcome to Ledger Nano S. And what we'll do is use the buttons on the top to navigate. So there's two buttons, left and right. And so I'll just hit the right button to go to the next screen, and you'll see that same guidance, press left or right button to navigate. So we'll keep going. And then you press both buttons at the same time to validate, or you think of it like saying okay or enter. All right, so we'll do that. We've kind of jumped the gun a little bit, so we've already gone to ledger.com/start, which you saw just a moment ago. And so we're going to set up as a new device. You can also see you can restore from a recovery phrase. So let's say that you have, maybe you have another Nano S device and you lost it. But you can actually restore that Bitcoin onto a new device from that recovery phrase. Again, just a reminder. So those are the options. So we're going to say set up as new device, and we'll hit both buttons at the same time to confirm. And so now we'll do we'll choose our PIN code. This is just going to be a little bit of extra security. And so it'll be a 4-digit PIN code. I am going to do that off screen, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we've entered our PIN. Again, 4-digit PIN. It asks you to reconfirm that same PIN. And if you follow those instructions, you should now be on this next step, which is write down your recovery phrase. And so your recovery phrase is, in this case, 24 words that uniquely match to this device and your wallet here. And so it's going to then go through the actual words. And so I'm obviously going to do this off screen. I'm going to write down each of my words on the handy sheet that they have provided. You don't have to do it here. There's all sorts of options actually. There's, you could get like a steel plate and chisel these into it, which is then fire resistant if a fire ever happens. So there's a lot of ways you can do this. But anyway, I'm going to write down my 24 words, and we'll be right back. All right, so I've written down my 24 words, and it quizzes you. I mean, it literally goes through and makes you pick, to ensure that you've written it down accurately and in the right order. And it will now give me, these 24 words are your only backup. Keep them in a secure place. Cannot possibly emphasize that enough, right? If I, go and lose this in a boating accident, but I've written down my 24 words, I can, my Bitcoin's not lost, right? It's on the blockchain, and I can recover my ownership of those funds by having my recovery phrase. So super, super crucial. If you take nothing else away, that is the number one rule for today. Some of you are probably also thinking, okay, so this was kind of predetermined in a way. And one of the nice things about the cold card, which again I cover in another video, is you can apply some additional kind of user-generated entropy or randomness to make it kind of even more secure in that regard. But in any case, we've written down our 24 words, and we have secured them. Put it in a safe. Do something. Never share them with anyone, absolutely anyone. And, you probably saw on the Ledger website just a moment ago that, beware of phishing attacks. That was one blow to Ledger's reputation, is they did have a data leak last year. And so names, email addresses of customers, phone numbers were leaked. No Bitcoin was stolen, right? That's not a thing. But that did then lead to a lot of different phishing attacks, text messages saying, oh, this is the Ledger security team, please do this or that. And right, I mean, as silly as that sounds, people still fall for it. So, Ledger and no one will ever ask you for your 24 words. And it is of paramount importance that you never share them with anyone, period. So let's press both buttons to continue. And you can see it's kind of processing. All right, my device is now ready. So press both buttons to enter the dashboard. And so you'll now basically see, we've got this settings button, and then we've got this button that says install app. And so think of an app in this case as Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever crypto asset that you want to store on your wallet. So there's an application associated with each of those. And so all we'll do is we'll say install app, and then it will say open Ledger Live to install apps. So let's go jump back to Ledger Live, and I'll show you how to do it. All right, so here we are in the Ledger Live app. You'll see the menu on the left, your portfolio, different accounts, how you can send and receive funds. You can even buy and sell through this. And where I've come is to the Manager tab here. And I've got my Nano S device that we've just set up, connected. And you'll see there's this whole catalog of apps with all these supported crypto assets. And so I'm going to go ahead and install the king, the one, the only, Bitcoin, of course. And so I'll hit install. And that'll take just a moment to go ahead and install. And if I look at my Ledger device itself, it also says processing. And excellent. So now it says installed. If I look back at my Ledger Live, you will now see a Bitcoin icon. And so that's really it, guys. It's now installed. I'll show you how you can kind of add funds and actually use this in the next little clip. All right, and so all I did was I came over to the Accounts tab here on the left. And so I'm now adding an account. I've chosen the asset I want to add, so Bitcoin. I'll hit continue. And then it will instruct me to open the Bitcoin app on the device. And so all I have to do there is basically click both of the buttons, and it will say application is ready. And so now it's going to synchronize my device with Ledger Live. And that'll take a moment. All right, and so now it's added this in. It's giving me, some options here, native SegWit and SegWit. Don't worry about that for now, and you can rename this if you would like. I might call it something like Nano S2, just because I've got one on here already, and I'll add the account. And that's it. So I'll hit done, and I will now see my new device here, or my new account. And if I click into this, you'll see it says, no crypto assets yet. And so the way I add to that is to say receive. And so this is easy. You can do this also from the left-hand side where it says receive, and you just pick the account that you want to credit, and you hit continue. And so this will now give the wallet address associated with this account. And so crucially, what you now want to do is look at your device and ensure that it matches exactly the address you see on the screen here, right? And so, it'll basically be split into 3 parts. You can scroll across in your device, and it should match up exactly to this. But I mean, seriously, take the time, go one by one, make sure it aligns exactly. And then you can copy the address and paste it in wherever you want to transfer funds from. So whether it's Coinbase or whatever your exchange is, they will allow you to withdraw from that exchange using this address, and that's really it. And so you can say approve on your device after you've reviewed it, and you have ensured that you have the right address, you've shared it securely, and that's it, guys. So what have we done? We've set up the Nano device from scratch, and you now know how you can receive funds into the account from your exchange. So again, don't leave your funds on exchanges, and then in the future, you can also send using this functionality on the left, right? The send option as opposed to the receive option. And so that's it. It's really simple. Hopefully this demystifies it, and I'll see you in a moment, and we'll close this video out. All right, gang. So that's it. As you can see, pretty straightforward. Ledger has built their software in quite a nice way. Really, anyone can come in and do this. So I hope you found this video useful. If you did, definitely give it a like, subscribe. There's gonna be lots more content. This video is not sponsored in any way, by the way, but if you are keen to check out Ledger and you want to support the channel, I've included an affiliate link in the description down below. Hey, I mean, we all have to find ways to stack more sats, so come on. But again, keep in mind in my other video, which I've also linked, there's other options as well. I have personally used Ledger Nano S for a long time. I am in the process of transitioning to Cold Card just for a little bit of extra security, but I'll still use Ledger Nano S for part of my stack, and I think it's a great overall option. Just keep in mind some of the trade-offs that I outlined in the other video. So we'll leave it there. Again, hope you enjoyed this walkthrough. Comment down below, let me know what you'd like to see in the future. And until next time, every sat counts. I'll see you then.